Hello students, today we will study about the physical and chemical properties of hydrogen peroxide. See, pure hydrogen peroxide, it is colorless, syrupy liquid, and it appears colorless if it is taken in the small amount. It appears colorless, but in bulk it appears bluish in color. It is completely miscible with water, alcohol and ether. Its density is higher because the intermolecular hydrogen bonding is present in between. That's why its density it is higher than water. And it also causes blisters if it will fall on our skin and like that. These are the properties of hydrogen peroxide. Now, chemical properties we will talk about. See, it decomposes, pure hydrogen peroxide, it decomposes into water and oxygen upon even on standing and upon heating, because it is highly unstable. That pure hydrogen peroxide is unstable. This we have read earlier also, that pure hydrogen peroxide is unstable. Now, see, these oxidizing and reducing properties we have to study in detail. First, we will study about the oxidizing properties. Hydrogen peroxide is powerful oxidizing agent in both acidic as well as in basic medium. Okay, in acidic medium like H2O2, it will give water, and in basic medium, this H2O2, it will dissociate, or uh, it will gain 2 electrons and it will decompose to give 2 OH minus. It will give 2 OH minus in basic medium. So here, oxidizing properties we will study. See, two examples I have done in here in the copy, and rest we will study from book itself. See, the first one is it oxidizes lead sulfide, which is black in color. It oxidizes lead sulfide, and we will obtain lead sulfate. If from sulfide S we are getting SO4, see, addition of oxygen is taking place, means oxidation is taking place. So here the oxidizing agent is H2O2. See, this H2O2, it will decompose to give H2O and nascent oxygen. Here we will multiply it by 4 because, see, PbS lead sulfide, this lead sulfide here, when it will combine with this nascent oxygen, we will get PbSO4 lead sulfate. Okay, SO4 we will be needing here, so we have to multiply this O with 4. So we will multiply it by 4. Now our reaction will become PbS plus this 4H2O2, this 4 and this 4, it will be cancelled out here. PbSO4 plus 4H2O. So here see, the black colored PbS lead sulfide, it has been changed to or converted to PbSO4 white colored lead sulfate. So this is here it is acting as an oxidizing agent. Okay, it oxidizes sulfides to sulfates. See, sulfides SO3 2 minus and sulfates are SO4 2 minus. So sulfides are converted to sulfates. Addition of oxygen is taking place. Sulfite is here. If to this sulfide one oxygen atom is it is added, then it will change to Na2SO4. To sulfate it will change. So sulfite, when it will react with H2O2, we will get sulfate. This is also showing that H2O2, it is acting as a an oxidizing agent, where itself it is getting reduced. Now other examples I'll explain you from book. Like see, this we have done sulfide sulfate. Now see the next one. It oxidizes arsenides to arsenates. See, this is arsenite, Na3ASO3. O3 is here. This 3, this reaction is same for all. For all the reactions, this reaction will be the common reaction. And here see, Na3ASO3, when it will gain an atom of oxygen, it will change to Na3ASO4. So arsenite to arsenate. Okay. Now it oxidizes nitrites to nitrates. Nitrite is NaNO2. and NaNO2, when it will combine with H2O2, we will get NaNO3. From nitrite, 2 oxygen atom, to nitrate, 3 oxygen atoms. Again oxidation is taking place. Yes. See, the next one here. It oxidizes potassium iodide to iodine. Potassium iodide to iodine. H2O2. See, Ki, potassium iodide, is here. If we'll see here, then K is in +1 oxidation state and I, it is in -1 oxidation state. Yes. From -1 oxidation state, it is changing to 0 oxidation state. And if I minus, it is changing to I 0 oxidation state, it means it is losing 2 electrons, and loss of electron is oxidation. Okay, so Ki here, this potassium iodide, it is changing to iodine, and again oxidation is taking place, oxidation of Ki into iodine, and this is acting as an oxidizing agent. Now see the next one. It is here it oxidizes ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate in acidic medium. Again the same reaction, ferrous sulfate is there, medium is acidic, this nascent oxygen will combine with it. From ferrous we will get ferric. From ferrous, see, from ferrous, if it is ferrous, from Fe plus 2 we are getting Fe plus 3. Fe plus 2 we will get Fe plus 3. And see, this is the ionic equation given over here. See what is happening here. This H2O2, it is decomposing to give H2O and nascent oxygen. This nascent oxygen will combine with FeSO4 in acidic medium. Means FeSO4 plus H2SO4 plus O, nascent oxygen. When it will combine with this FeSO4, here this FeSO4 ferrous sulfate will change to ferric sulfate along with the formation of water. Okay, so here what is happening, see, if we'll write the ionic equation, sulfate, because no change in the oxidation number taking place, so it has been ignored because it is not in the consideration. H2O2, H plus and water. So if we'll see here, Fe plus 2, it is changing to Fe plus 3. Plus 2 will lose an electron and will change to plus 3, and loss of electron is oxidation. That's why it is in here, this is reducing itself. From H2O2 it is changing to H2O only, but it is oxidizing this ferrous to ferric. Similarly, the next one is it oxidizes potassium ferrocyanide to potassium ferricyanide in acidic medium. Again the acidic medium is there. This is the same reaction. H2O2 will give H2O and O. See here, K4 FeCN6. K4 FeCN6 is there. Here if we'll see this, see, it is the ionic, directly see the ionic equation here. From ferrocyanide we are getting ferricyanide. See, because you people have not studied this yet, so you just learn this, because this you will study in your this class 12th. Okay, here FeCN6 4 minus, it is changing to FeCN6 3 minus. Okay, here it is ferrocyanide, and ferrocyanide it is changing to ferricyanide. So this is also here it is getting oxidized. Okay, it is also getting oxidized here. Now the next one is this equation. When a precipitate of chromium hydroxide Cr plus 3 chromium hydroxide suspended in sodium hydroxide, it is treated with hydrogen peroxide, it get oxidized into chromate, sodium chromate, we are getting CrO4 chromium see, sodium chromate we are getting, and water. Okay, so we have to multiply this equation by 3. It is according to the need of the reaction, like we'll multiply it by 3. So here if you'll see this chromium hydroxide, OH minus, hydrogen peroxide, it is changing to chromate ion O4. From O3 to O4 we are getting oxidation. This one also, it oxidizes hydrogen sulfide to sulfur. This is hydrogen sulfide, and removal of hydrogen will take place. We will get sulfur only. Removal of hydrogen is oxidation, so it is also getting oxidized. This is an oxidizing agent. It is oxidizing the other substances, but it is reducing itself. From H2O2 we are getting H2O only. And the last one is, it oxidizes colored vegetable and organic materials into colorless materials, and thus acting as a bleaching agent. Colored material, when it will get oxidized, we will get the colorless material, and due to this property it is used to bleach silk, hair, wool, ivory, cotton, etc. For bleaching all these substances, hydrogen peroxide is used, because it oxidizes the colored vegetable and organic material into colorless material. Okay, this is the bleaching agent of hydrogen peroxide. So this was about the oxidizing property of hydrogen peroxide, and this reducing property we will study in our next video. Thank you.